let's go have the perfect day at EPCOT. We got a lot to do. Let's get going. Okay, here's the thing. Here's how the day is gonna go. I did not purchase Genie Plus. I am, however, a resort guest because I'm mooching off of one of Quincy's resort tours. So I'm here early for early theme park admission, which is for resort guests. I also bought Remy right at 7 a.m. Hoping between those moves, we'll get all the big rides done with minimal waits. So here we go. Early theme park entry is a perk of a Walt Disney World resort guest and a few participating Good Neighbor hotels like some of the Disney Springs hotels. It allows you into any of the 4 parks 30 minutes early each day where some of the main attractions are opened up. So I don't think you need to get Genie Plus if you have early theme park entry, especially here at EPCOT. But the big boys are definitely Frozen Ever After and Test Track and Remy as far as that goes. So we're gonna try and knock out a couple of those right now. EPCOT is a maze right now. They're getting her all ready for her 40th anniversary this year. October 1st of this year is EPCOT's 40th. She better be looking better than this. I found the people. They're holding us right here outside of Club Cool to go to this side of the park. So this would be where you'd want to come for Test Track or Frozen Ever After, or I guess if you're rope dropping Mission Space. Test Track isn't opening on time. Test Track is the Rise of the Resistance. Test Track was mad before Rise of the Resistance was mad. You know what I mean? Rise of the Resistance didn't open at rope drop, neither did Test Track. Not surprising. Unfortunate though, because that means more people are going to go to Frozen. But now it's time for my safety PSA. At rope drop, please don't run. Please don't push. It's not Black Friday at the Walmart. We're going to walk quickly but carefully to our destination. Currently, EPCOT's been opening at 8:30 a.m., which means resort early theme park entries at 8 a.m. But what's interesting about EPCOT is most of World Showcase doesn't open until 11 a.m., and that includes festival kiosks, usually. There may be 1 or 2 that open that offer like breakfasty kind of things, but for the most part, World Showcase, aside from Frozen Ever After, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, and a couple quick services, most of this doesn't open until 11. That's why a lot of people come in early, get the rides done, which is why you can see really long lines really quickly at this park. We have made it to Arendelle. 10-minute posted wait on Frozen Ever After. That's what you'll like to see. This attraction is very popular and gets very, very long lines, especially because of Genie Plus and it being a Genie Plus lightning lane, no longer a fancy ride. Frozen Ever After is probably tied with Test Track for the most popular regular lightning lane in this park. And because of that and how popular it is and how slow loading and unloading these boats are, the wait is really, really long all day. So if you are a resort guest, I cannot stress enough how much you should try and rope drop this, because it will literally be 90 plus minutes the rest of the day. And if you're a not resort guest, by the time you can get here, 30 minutes after the park opens, it's too late. The resort guests beat you. I love that nod to Maelstrom with the polar bear. How he's standing up on his back legs. That's a nod to Maelstrom. I love that. And Oaken's sauna. The park has been open for resort guests for 7 minutes, and I'm boarding this. That includes my walk time. On and off one of the most popular rides in EPCOT in 15 minutes of park open, and that includes my walk over here. Things are going well. It's now posted 25-minute wait, which still isn't too bad. I'd wager that a lot of people are over at Remy. Also, I have a very important PSA. The family in front of me on Frozen Ever After was taking flash photos the entire ride. Not only is that not allowed, and someone came on the loudspeaker to tell them to stop at the end of the ride, but it ruins the ride for other people around you. There's a reason that dark rides are in the dark. They don't want you to see past what they want you to see. Your photos are gonna be terrible, especially of those attractions, because Anna and Elsa's faces are projected on the animatronics, and when you put a flash on it, they're gonna go away. And literally we're using old B-roll now because I couldn't even take B-roll because their flash is going off every other second. So please don't take flash photos on dark rides. Take as many pictures you want, take as much video as you want. But maybe don't do photos with the flash. It is one of my biggest pet peeves. You're ruining the experience for everyone else around you. I'm scooting over to Soarin' now. And the thing is about this park, we're gonna hustle for this first little bit. And then we're gonna relax. Okay? We're gonna relax. But I'm gonna try and knock out as many of these big rides as possible early before the lines get long. So that way we can spend most of the day just enjoying EPCOT. For the record, at 8:23, there is a 45-minute wait for Frozen now and only a 35-minute wait for Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. So if you did not want to purchase Remy, you could rope drop it as a resort guest and get on without too long of a line, but you're going to have to make a decision whether you want Remy or Frozen, basically. Hello, without a long line, and possibly Test Track if it opens on time. I think you can get 2 of those things knocked off an early theme park entry, but likely not 3 because of how spread out they are. Soarin', it has a 10-minute wait, which is a walk-on. Breedlove and I always joke that this is your mom's favorite ride. It's certainly my mom's favorite ride, but it's just the most relaxing, enjoyable ride. And while Soarin' is very popular, unlike Frozen, unlike Test Track, unlike Remy, it does wane a little bit more in the waits, so you can usually get on this one without too long of a wait. Just keep an eye on the wait times, especially in the mornings. Everyone else is going to one of those 3 usually. In the evenings, it'll drop a little bit as well. So it can get long, and if you're buying Genie Plus, use it, great use. But you can usually snag it for 30 or under, even during a busy time. Headed to B1. This really is the best day ever.
Ladies and gentlemen, your flight has been momentarily delayed. Please remain in your seat until the tower gives us clearance to continue on our present flight path. Thank you.
Attention all aviators, we did have some fog up in the sky. We'll return soon. Sorry, we'll return soon. Just stay seated and I'll keep you guys updated, okay?
So we're in the tower. We are ready for takeoff.
I got to ride Soarin' 1.5 times. Everybody still clapped at the end, and most people on there thought it was fun because you got to basically do it twice. So things happened. Now I checked, Test Track still broken. So I'm gonna do Living with the Land right now since I'm already here. Test Track's the last big ride I need to worry about since I have a lightning lane for Remy. So I'm gonna start knocking off some of the smaller Epcot rides up here in Future World, keeping an eye on Test Track. I want to kind of be done with Future World by the time most of World Showcase opens, so I'm not trying to ride Spaceship Earth, then go get a snack, then ride the seas, then go get a drink. You know what I mean? Test Track is still down. She's angry today. So I'm gonna go to Spaceship Earth. I know I'm closer to both the Seas and the Imagination Pavilions, but Spaceship Earth is the other one up here that might get a longer line. I've seen it get up to, 45 minutes, 60 minutes recently, because it's the thing right at the front of the park, so people come in and just get in line. It's 15 right now, so we're gonna go do that. Also, that'll put us closer to Test Track should it decide to open. It's Flower and Garden Festival right now, so all the topiaries are out. It's my favorite time of year at Epcot. But are you as concerned about Bo Peep as I am? She's kind of a nightmare. It's the eyes, I think. They're staring not quite into my soul, but also into my soul at the same time. I definitely think I made the right move getting to Spaceship Earth. It took about 15 minutes to get on Spaceship Earth, so that was pretty great. And now it's time to go visit Dame Judi Dench.
Remember how easy it was to learn your ABCs? Fact the Phoenicians. They invented these words. Much of our learning is distorted. It turns out there are copies of some of these books in the library.
Attention time travelers. Please remain seated in your time machine vehicle. We've had to make an unscheduled stop during our travels today. Please remain seated as motion may resume at any moment. Thank you.
Please remain seated. Your time machine vehicle will begin moving again at any moment.
I literally forgot my ears on Spaceship Earth. That's not the bad news. Why did I forget my ears? Because we were stopped for 15 minutes. And I was like in the dark part after you see Sassy Scientist Lady. And I took a little nap. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a little surprised they didn't give out recovery, because it was like a long time to be trapped. But I'm sure if you asked, they would give you a lightning lane or something, but I'm not gonna ask. The good news is that Test Track is opened. It has a posted 50-minute wait, but I'm gonna go single rider. If you've ridden Test Track before, go in the single rider line to breeze on through. Single rider is an alternate entrance at certain attractions. They have it here, they have it at Rock and Roller Coaster and Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. And it allows you to bypass the majority of the line and then fill in odd numbered seats. So you will likely be separated from your family. At this attraction, you can choose from some pre-made cars, but you don't get to actually design your car from the wheels up the way you would in regular line. And in other attractions, you might miss other cool parts of the queue. But if you've been on the attractions before, it's a great way to sometimes have a much shorter wait.
SimCar performance data acquired. Scanning SimCar for optimal eco-efficiency.
Test Track complete. Single rider, I literally walked right up and was on within like 2 minutes. Test Track single rider line does move a little bit faster than, say, Rock and Roller Coaster. Rock and Roller Coaster has gotten long recently, but because Test Track seats 3 and 3 as opposed to 2 and 2, you're more likely to have parties of 2 that need a third to fill in than like a party of 5 that needs 1 to fill in, if that makes sense. If you are purchasing Genie Plus in this park, I recommend Frozen or Test Track being the one you book at 7 a.m. Both stuck around for a while, and I've seen both come back. So it's not as dire as, say, Slinky Dog over at Studios, but you still want to pull the trigger on one of those pretty quickly. Now I'm going to get some coffee, and then I've still got about 30 minutes before the rest of the park opens up, so I think I'll go knock out the other Future World rides, so that way we can just spend the rest of the day relaxing. Headed to the Seas Pavilion with my shaken Jamaican. Now we are getting close to that 11 o'clock hour where the wait times will kind of start to creep up a little bit on these smaller Future World rides. I'm talking the Seas, Living with the Land, Figment. Those rides that normally are a walk-on right around this time will get to about 20-30 minutes or so, which still isn't too bad. And that's because, again, everyone comes to the front and does all the rides in the front. You can usually catch those later without a long line, but if you're planning on being back in the back of the park and eating and drinking for a festival, it may be worth it to wait 20 minutes to ride Nemo now. The Seas with Nemo and Friends. It's probably my favorite underrated thing in EPCOT. I just love a classic Disney dark ride, and that's exactly what that is. Plus, you end up in the Sea Base, which is this giant aquarium with all different exhibits. You don't have to ride the ride to visit the Sea Base, and this is a great place to get some air conditioning. They have a fun scavenger hunt you can do for free with Dory, where it'll send you around to the different exhibits. But I love coming in here and spending a little time looking at the creatures. Plus, I think I want to see Turtle Talk today. I think that's another underrated fun thing. But we have a few minutes, so let's watch the manatees. Hi! You're so cute! Oh! The manatees are rescues that have been hit by boats, and you can see like this one's missing part of his tail. And Disney tries to rehabilitate and return them to the wild if they can, but if not, they get to live the rest of their life very happily here. And of course, it wouldn't be a visit to the Sea Base without saying hello to one of my dearest friends. Hello, Mr. Eel. Oh, hey there, Molly. How are you? Been a while. I know. How have you been? How's the missus? Oh, she's good. We've just been hanging out, doing eel things. Well, I'm here, Mr. Eel, on my perfect day in EPCOT, and it wouldn't be a perfect day without saying hello to you. Well, thanks. Hey, everybody. Keep washing those hands. Safety doesn't stop. Germs still exist. It's a good point, Mr. Eel. It's always good to see you. I'm going to go see Crush now. Have fun. Up here on the second level, there's a huge aquarium. This actually used to be the largest aquarium in North America till the Georgia Aquarium took over. But there's this huge tank. Did you know if you were to siphon off just an inch of water out of all of the Seas tanks, it could fill Spaceship Earth? That's how big of space they have. That's wild. But I love looking in here, especially because they've got turtles and sharks. Gonna go watch Turtle Talk now. And just as a reminder, these perfect days are definitely meant to give you some tips and tricks, but you can treat them a little bit like a plug and play. Like if the Seas with Nemo and Friends doesn't look like something you'd enjoy, Figment only is a 10-minute wait right now. So I'm definitely here to give you tips and tricks on how to conquer the big things and what to do in between, but you can also fill in with your favorite treat or your favorite kind of filler ride in the same area. Look at these jellies, man. It says they have no heart or brain, only a nervous system. They're very trippy. This show doesn't normally have too long of a line, so it's usually a good one to kind of fill in. Kids seem to really like it. If I was bringing a little one, I would have them think of a question they want to ask Crush beforehand, because there's a chance where kids get a Q&A with Crush, so maybe have them think of something funny they want to ask Crush. But the show makes adults and kids laugh. It's very cute.
Whoa, righteous dude! Whoa, dude! Oh, John, dude! Hey, Charlie, isn't it totally righteous teaching those little ones the ways of the world? Sure. Well, that was nice and abrupt. I think we just shared a moment there, Charles. Now, what's your question, Clarity?
Turtles ever show?
I mean... Yeah, I mean, we're bathing constantly. Zayden, yeah, that's what I thought he said. Cool. Now, what's your question, Zayday? What do you want to know about me?
How much toy do I have?
How many toys do you have? Is that what you asked me?
Hi, humans. Hi. Oh, okay. Why didn't you tell me?
I did, but you were echolocated.
Wait.
What?
I'm getting something. Wow.
Okay, Turtle Talk, so cute. We've done 7 experiences at the front of the park, and now I'm hungry. So it's time to begin the World Showcase portion of the video, where we eat and drink and do things in World Showcase, yay! If I'm being totally honest, to me, my favorite ride at Epcot is eating and drinking in World Showcase. My advice to you is this is the park where you can come in a little bit later. You don't need to rope drop this one as much. If you want to ride all the rides I rode today without Genie Plus, then yeah, you need to get here, especially as a resort guest. But if you're more like me and enjoy a nice leisurely Epcot day, a leisurely Epcot stroll, maybe a sprinkling of Soarin' and Spaceship Earth in, you can definitely come in later. Let's do a little noon wait time check. Figment, 15 minutes, 12:20 for Genie Plus. Soarin', 50 minutes, 5:20 for Genie Plus. Frozen Ever After, 105-minute wait, no Genie left. 20 at Living at the Land, 30 at Mission Space, 85 at Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, and more Lightning Lanes have popped up. 25 minutes at the Seas, 35 at Spaceship Earth, 65 at Test Track, none left. So there's kind of your noon update. Could it be? There's hardly a line at La Cava del Tequila? The hidden tequila bar here in Epcot that everyone knows about? Oh my gosh. What a lucky day it is indeed. I love it inside the pyramid here. And for the most part, the quick service locations here in Mexico are where they shine. They've got this awesome tequila bar that you can get to-go drinks or sit and have some appetizers, munchies. They've got a walk-up stand outside that also has great margs, and empanadas and good munchies, street corn. And then they have a full quick service restaurant outside on the water, La Cantina de San Angel, which is great food as well. The 2 sit-down restaurants here are fine, but not my recommendation, especially because the quick service food is so good. One of my top choices.
That's just what Mortgage, baby.
I love it.
What drink is that one? For Lily. Oh, you're gonna get that. 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Cool.
Gracias. Yay. Got my cocktail and a snack. This is the Lily. This is the one that debuted at Festival of the Arts, made by Lily Aldridge, who partnered with La Cava del Tequila and Casadronas Tequila. It's got Casadronas Tequila, cranberry lime, house-made rose petal, and shimmering violet essence. Like seriously, if you swirl it around, it glitters. And then a hibiscus salt rim, and then you saw they do the smoke gun that's got floral essence in it. It's a little pricey. It's $33, which is a lot of money for one cocktail, but I don't feel that bad about it because through the end of April, for International Women's Month, they are donating to Women for Women International through the end of April. It started in March, they're going through April, so I like that. You know what? Women supporting women, plus a woman-made cocktail, and Casadrones is a female-founded tequila company, so I'm here for it. I also grabbed some guacamole and salsa and chips. I wanted queso initially, but they don't have it today, but I realized that's probably fine because of the amount of cheese I'm going to consume the rest of the day. Cheers! I truly love this drink. I wouldn't pay for it and drink it if I didn't, even though I do know Lily. It's slightly sweet, and y'all know I do not like sweet drinks. It's definitely sweeter than some of the other drinks I drink here, but it's not overly sweet. It's got a nice tart balance to it with the lime. You can taste that good quality tequila. I love the smoky flavor that comes from the rose. It hits your nose beautifully. I'm a big fan of this one, and I'm glad it's on the menu permanently. Their guac is so good. So creamy and fresh. A lot of people don't realize you can come back and sit in here. For a long time this was walk-up only, but they opened this up a couple months ago. And then it's nice to take a little break. Look at the line now. We went at a good time, friends. I would say if you can go within the first hour or so of them opening, you will likely have less of a wait in the Tequila Cave. Also, look at these branded La Cava del Tequila glasses they have now if you wanted to make some margs at home. Very fun. While I'm in here, I'm going to jump in the Grand Fiesta Tour line. It's got a posted 10-minute wait, which it's moving pretty quick. I don't even think it'll take that. This is that cute boat ride inside the pyramid here with the 3 caballeros, and it tends to move pretty quick and not get too long of a line. There's no lightning lane, so it's just loading people on and off the boats. But if you're in Mexico, you might as well take a little spin. Gosh, the timing of this day could not be more impeccable because now we can watch Mariachi Cobre perform.
Here with you tonight, bring me joy que alegría, for this music is my language and the world es mi familia. For this music is my language and the world es mi familia. For this music is my language and the world es mi familia.
Oh, it is so blustery today. I apologize for anything weird happening to my audio. Headed to get another snicky snack. This one's going to be a festival favorite of mine. Stopped in the China Pavilion for one of my favorite festival treats of all. These are the house-made cheesy crab wontons. They're basically house-made crab rangoon. During the festival, you can get them at both the booth as well as the quick service restaurant here, and they're one of my all-time favorites. These are such good crab rangoon. There's lots of the cream cheesy meat filling. They're crispy. There's a little bit of spice in the sauce. They're phenomenal. So if there's a festival going on at EPCOT, Flower and Garden runs through July 4th. They just announced that Food and Wine starts July 14th. So there's pretty much always a festival going on in this park. Make sure you watch our festival video. Shameless plug. I did a whole video where I went to every single booth, showed you all the entertainment stuff at this festival. We'll do it again at Food and Wine. But if you're here at a festival, make sure you explore some of those booths because that's part of the fun of that. So windy. Breezing through Germany because there's something I want to do in the American Adventure, but I do always like stopping to look at the model train set. Also, if you're looking for a great sweet treat in the parks, I just tried the pretzel bread pudding from Summerfest in Germany. Oh my gosh, it's delicious and fabulous. Highly recommend. We're going to get a different sweet in a little bit, but Germany knows what's up when it comes to treats. This also is the caramel shop. Also scooting through Italy in the interest of getting to my next destination, but I love the Italy Pavilion. If I was going to do a sit-down restaurant, it would be Via Napoli, so you can go check my review out there. That's the pizzeria. You also can get great to-go drinks at Tutto Italia. So this is what I mean when I say Epcot's a choose your own adventure tale. Most people aren't going to eat and drink in every single country, so you got to kind of just pick what sounds good to you. But I would like to get to a little show number over here in the American Adventure, so that's where I'm headed. Made it to the American Adventure where I'm going to watch the title show, The American Adventure. This is about a 30-minute show inside the pavilion here, and it features animatronics, as they tell you some of the highlights of American history. It's definitely not a must-do for a lot of people. However, if you're looking for somewhere to sit down in the air conditioning, it's halfway around the world, so it's the perfect spot for that. Also, I would say folks that are really into American history, big fans of this one. I like the animatronics, so I enjoy watching American Adventure. Plus, I have been here for a long time already. It's 2:15. I need to sit down.
Good evening, Mr. Jefferson. Have you finished the new draft yet?
Those are new drafts all over the floor, Dr. Franklin. Overindulge in our Philadelphia's fine food and drink.
'Tis a strange war we shoulder, George Washington.
Congress, Edison's that young phonograph inventor. Why, this great hall is filled with new inventions.
'Tis easy to see, hard to foresee, but I foresee the American adventure to continue a long, long time.
I don't think if you've got young kids or people that don't care at all about American history, you need to see it, but it's a great spot to sit in the air conditioning, and I love that animatronic that walks up the stairs. Plus, when I got out, I went back into the rotunda because Voices of Liberty was performing. That's the amazing American a cappella group that performs. Their voices are truly magical, but I miss their old outfits. They are wearing these kind of like generic red, white, and blue cocktail attire outfits, like something you'd wear on formal night on a cruise.
America, the land of the free, the home of the brave.
But now I'm slowly working towards France because I do have my Remy's Ratatouille adventure in a little bit. But we've made it to Japan, and I'm going to make a little pit stop in the best store of World Showcase. This is Mitsukoshi, which is the Japanese department store. The Mitsukoshi in Japan, one of them, was actually the first department store in the world. So this is a really fun store to come visit. Even if you have no intention of buying anything, pop in here and look around. They've got tons of Japanese brands, anime, Hello Kitty, Pokemon, Animal Crossing, Dragon Ball Z. Plus in the back they've got things like samurai swords, kimonos, and they have a whole market as well. Here's a question I never thought I'd ask. Do I need a Hello Kitty rice cooker? Is this a real rice cooker? Or is this a toy? Oh my gosh. I think this is like in Japan what Easy Bake Oven was to me. Because it's for 3 and up, and it does all these things, and you use this little clip to get your dishes out of the rice cooker. Multi-function rice cooker. Oh my gosh. The only problem is it's $86. So it's probably going to be a no for me today, even though I could make Hello Kitty rice. The back of Mitsukoshi is the real treasure because it's a full Japanese market. So there's all kinds of Japanese candies, Kit Kats of all kinds of unique variety. I love that they have different drinks. This one's kind of like Japanese Powerade. It's an electrolyte drink. It's quite delicious. I might grab one right now for a little boost. They've also got coffee. This is a great little shop back here. I've actually done a video where I came and got a bunch of the stuff and did a taste test. If you want to watch that, some of it's delicious, some of it's dried seafood. Made it to the Morocco Pavilion, which I think is the most beautiful pavilion. It's actually the only pavilion that had the country send craftsmen over to make sure they were represented well. And this is the one where I feel like around every turn you could discover something you didn't know. That's true in most pavilions, but this one tends to be a little less crowded. Like, there's this cool interactive exhibit in here about racing through the desert. Look at this camel saddle from 1950. Look at that. That does not look comfortable. Water container, coal containers, bracelets. I wonder if I can go through this door. Ooh, I can. Ooh, an adventure. This might be the most beautiful spot in all of World Showcase, and there's literally no one else in here. Is this not gorgeous? It's open so you can see the sky. I love the tile work. Epcot is probably the most park just to kind of like wander around and see what happens. You probably need the least plan for Epcot. You need to plan on how to get on the rides you want to do, and you need to know what food you want to eat. But besides that, you can do a lot of just kind of wandering and exploring. And make sure you have some time to scope out these pavilions. That's why I recommend doing the scavenger hunts during the festivals, because it encourages kids to kind of come back in here too. But you never know what you'll find and what picture you could take or what you'll learn. It's time for another feeding, friends. We're gonna keep going with the flower and garden feedings. This is La Isla Fresca. It's an Encanto themed booth, and they have arepas, just like Mama Julieta makes. Except for they don't heal your ailments. At least the ones I had before it didn't. And don't skip it, right next to the La Isla Fresca is this sweet little Encanto garden where all the flowers are native to South America, and you can see there's casita on this one. You can walk through the path and see some of these gorgeous flowers. This would take very good pictures, and I love that they're doing a little Encanto moment here in Epcot. Currently, you can meet Mirabelle out in Disney California Adventure. I did it in Perfect Day Ever out there, and she's back. But I would really like Mirabelle to come to Disney World. Here's my arepa. So this is the chorizo arepa. So it's got your arepa right there, which is corn, and then the queso fresco, and then the chorizo, as well as some green onion. And I'm excited to dig in. I hope it's as good as it was the first time I had it. When I first did my festival video, I thought I would like the cheese arepas more than the others, but the chorizo one is the winner because you still get that beautiful queso fresco on there, but the chorizo and the sauce in the chorizo has like a little bit of spice, a little bit of heat. It's also got a lot of great smoky flavor. You still got that lovely corn arepa under it. These are definitely one of Molly's best of the fest in Flower and Garden. Again, go watch that video for more booth breakdowns. But enjoying a festival at Epcot, one of the best things you can do, right? Drop your favorite festival in the comments. Also, yes, I just smeared sauce on my face. It's time for me to ride Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, which has a posted 120-minute wait. It is nice they have a little sign out here so you don't walk all the way back there to find out if you're not looking at the app. This is the French expansion that opened up officially on October 1st of last year for Disney's 50th. And it has the creperie restaurant and walk-up window, as well as Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, the new ride. As a little Genie Plus reminder, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure is a fancy ride, meaning it is an individually priced ride. You do not have to buy Genie Plus in order to purchase Remy. It's available at 7 a.m. for Disney World Resort guests, at the time of park open for not resort guests. It was $9 for me to purchase it this morning, and since I purchased it at 7 a.m. with the resort guests, I pretty much had my choice of the day. It was still available for non-resort guests to purchase it, and I've seen it pop up a time or two before, but this is one you want to be pretty sure you want to buy. It runs out pretty quickly normally for the non-resort guests, and the non-resort guests probably aren't going to get as much of a choice of what time they'd like to ride it. And I knew I wanted to ride this today, but I also knew I wanted to do Frozen and Test Track and Soarin'. So it was smarter for me to spend $9 to buy this and lock this in for the afternoon, and then use that early theme park entry to rope drop Frozen and the other rides. You saw how that worked out. I don't think you need Genie Plus in this park if you buy Remy especially. If you don't care about Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, or maybe you're going to rope drop Remy and buy Genie Plus for the other rides, you can do that too, but for me it made more sense to just pony up for Remy. And even though the queue's cut a little short in the Lightning Lane, you still get the best part of the queue, which is where you're on the rooftop looking at Gusto's restaurant. Isn't that cute? He makes a hidden Mickey actually by holding the pots up to his ear. And I think this ride is cute. I think this queue's cute. A lot of people say they don't like this ride and it's overrated, but like anything, if you wait 2 hours for it, yeah, it probably is overrated. It is a part of extended evening hours now, which is for deluxe resort guests can stay after the park. That'd be a great time to ride it too if you didn't want to pay for it and you're staying at one of those deluxe resorts.
Des invités pour le dîner.
Hein? Pour le repas idéal. Au commun? Non. C'est too simple.
The cutest attraction. The only thing I don't like about it is it is largely a simulator, so it does make you a little motion sick, but there's big practical sets around you, and like the wheels and stuff actually move. It actually feels hot. You get dripped on when you see water on the screen, and I love that. But I love the idea of that. I think this attraction's cute. I think it's a must-do if you've never done it at EPCOT. For me, it's worth $9 to do it, but I know people don't love it. But again, wait 2 hours for anything and you're probably not gonna like it. Also, one of the main complaints I've read that people don't like it is because some of it's in French. It's time for another feeding. And we are in France. There's so many places I could eat here. It's my favorite pavilion to eat in. So we'll probably have to get at least 2 things here. But I think it's time to have a sweet treat. So let's head to the ice cream shop. And it's kind of late afternoon at this point, so there's not as long of a line as there will be later this evening when people are trying to get their treat before fireworks. But L'Artisan de Glaces is the artisanal ice cream and sorbet shop here in France. Some of the best ice cream I've ever had in my life. One of my favorite sweets, if not my favorite sweet in this whole park. I love that they have kind of your classic flavors like mint chocolate, vanilla, regular chocolate, coffee, but then they have some more unusual stuff like my coconut white chocolate is my personal favorite, cinnamon caramelized apple and crumble, candied peanuts with peanut butter fudge, that sounds amazing. And then they have sorbets as well. I've had several of those, they're amazing. They also do macaron ice cream sandwiches, as well as you can do a brioche bun with your choice of ice cream in the middle and your choice of sauce between chocolate, raspberry, and caramel, and then they seal it shut to make this delicious ice cream sandwich. If you want to go decadent, that's the way to go. Surprise, surprise, I got coconut white chocolate. It's my favorite flavor of all. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Although, I've never had a bad flavor and I've tried a lot. This is so good. I love this ice cream. I like that you can get just a single cone, still a hefty amount. Perfect snack to leisurely enjoy as you walk through the France Pavilion. I'm telling you, EPCOT's all about leisure and eating and drinking. Continuing our little stroll around the world, gonna head to the neighboring country, which is the United Kingdom, because they've got some entertainment coming up. You know, my favorite thing to do is with entertainment, have a drink from the pub. The Rose and Crown Pub, one of my favorite spots in all of Disney World. This is the British pub in the UK, where you can get classic beers, ciders, cocktails. It's a full bar, but you can get the pub blends. You can get yourself a Guinness. It's one of my favorite spots to grab a drink, and it's air conditioned in here. It's a good time. Surprise, surprise. She got a snake bite. The snake bite is half Harp beer and half Strongbow cider, but I always ask them to go like 80-20 more beer than cider because it's otherwise too sweet for my taste. But I love the pub, I love the beers in there, I love the blends, love the vibes, and there used to be a piano player in there. She's not in there right now, but she has moved to another location, so we're gonna go park ourselves and get some more live entertainment on.
You can always have dreams, but you have to work really hard to make them happen. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
And just like Tiana said, don't have time for dancing. Well, that's just gonna have to wait a while.
Back to France. We're gonna do another feeding. I just can't consider it a best day, perfect day in EPCOT if I don't go to the bakery. It's just the rules I live by. The bakery in EPCOT, Les is my all-time favorite quick service restaurant here. It's where you can get so many delicious pastries with French cheeses. There's a cheese board. There's freshly made baguettes. There's lobster soup. I mean, it is just exquisite. I kind of panicked and I almost ordered something else, but then I went for my classic favorite because this is Perfect Day and I know this is going to be good every time, but truly I've never ordered anything bad here at Leal. But also this is a little lighter than some other things I'd get, which leaves more room for more snicky snacks. This is the ham and cheese croissant. It's a freshly made croissant, ham and cheese, and then a bechamel sauce on it, so it's got that gooey egg sauce on it, and ask them to serve it warm for you, so they heat it all up, and oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I also got this pastry for the new snacks video, but ignore that for this one. You're gonna have to go watch that video if you want the review on this new apple pastry. This lady, I'm sorry, Marie. Her name's Marie, the baguette from the Beauty and the Beast song. I assume this is the Marie they're referring to. She and I sit together every time at Leal, and by sit I mean stand, because whenever I come in here, this back table in the corner is the only one available, so I just eat my cheese in the corner like a gremlin with my friend Marie. France is all about simple deliciousness. They get high quality, simple ingredients and they slap them together in perfection. It's literally just 4 ingredients, but it's perfect every single time. Sometimes Disney goes way too overboard with their treats. France never does. I can always count on France to have excellent cheese and pastries and bread, and it's my favorite place in Epcot. Hands down, the best. This is particularly delicious. It's not super expensive. You can definitely share it if you're treating it as a snack, or it's a great meal. It's like $6 or $7. It used to be $5, which was better, obviously, but it's a perfectly flaky croissant, a little salty ham, a little eggy bechamel, and then you got the cheese. Thank you, France. Well, well, well. I'm at a Joffrey's cart. Who could have predicted this? I need a little pick-me-up. I've been in this park for 11 hours. I need a second coffee so we can power through Harmonious. And one thing I do love about Epcot is an abundance of Joffrey's carts. Okay, here's the dealio. There's about 2 hours left of park time. The beacon should be coming on in about an hour. So I'm gonna head back up to Future World. I mean World Discovery. And look at the beacon. Maybe pop on a ride I didn't do earlier. Maybe do a little shopping at Creations. And then I'm gonna come back to World Showcase, get my final drink, perhaps one final snicky snack, and stake out a good spot for Harmonious. I'm doing this for you guys on our Instagram. If you're not following, you should follow us on social media. Shameless plug, but we do fun things on our Instagram. I put a little thing up earlier and I said, I'm filming Perfect Day today. What is part of your perfect day at Epcot? Hello! And so we do a little behind the scenes fun. We do some Q&As. We do fun stuff. Anyway, so many of you said Figment was part of your perfect day at Epcot. And even though Figment is not part of my perfect day at Epcot, which to be fair, neither is Test Track, I felt I wanted to honor you all and the Figment fans. So I'm popping on to Journey into Imagination.
But you've got it wrong, Doc. It's not about listening with your ears. It's about listening with your imagination. Your mind sees more than what your eyes see. Woo! You win 1 cent. Don't!
Figment, check. I just can't with Nigel Channing Moon, y'all. He's so scary. That ride, if you like Figment, go, ride it to your heart's desire. Don't wait in a long line for it because it'll definitely drop. If you've got little ones, they'll enjoy it, I think. But if you have no idea who Figment is or no nostalgic connection to him, I don't know if you need to put this one on your to-do list. But I will say here in the What If Labs at the exit, it's a great place for kids to play and burn off some energy. There's a couple interactive activities. Early in the day, Joy and Vanellope are here. So this is a great place to hang out. Sorry, I've been distracted by turning red merchandise. Do I need this shirt? I'm gonna go do a little creation shop excursion now, because you know I love shopping. You know I love a Disney merch adventure. And also, I want to stay at the front of the park because I'm trying to see that beacon as soon as the sun goes down. Creation shop is new mouse gear, basically. It's the new big merchandise shop. But I feel like it's not as big as mouse gear. Maybe I'm wrong, but it just doesn't... Mouse gear felt massive. Maybe that's because I was a child usually when I was in there and I would get lost. Maybe it's because of the confusing layout of mouse gear, where it's like a bunch of smaller rooms, but it just feels bigger than this one. This section, when you first walk in from World Showcase, is typically whatever festival's going on. You can find the merchandise right here. Should I get this for my mom? This was not out the first day. They've had some supply issues. Who hasn't? So new Flower and Garden stuff keeps coming out. This is so cute. My mom has a very green thumb. I have a black thumb. I can't keep anything alive, but that's adorable. Let's look at the Coach line too. The Coach Disney line just came out, and I'm not gonna lie to you, it's very cute. Like, look at these ears that have little pins on them. There's actually 4 different ones. There's black, red, white, and yellow. And they say 1971 and stuff on them. Yeah, they're $300. So I will not be buying those. But what I'm almost more tempted by than the ears is the fanny pack. Because it's a really good size for like a satchel or a fanny pack. But then I was like, oh, it's $450. Never mind. So it's really cute. So if you get anything from Disney by Coach Disney Collab, good for you. Also, I'm kind of on the prowl for this shirt that my teammate saw in Hollywood Studios today. He sent me a picture of it, one of our reporters. It's got Kuzco on it, and I love Emperor's New Groove. But also, look at this Lando Calrissian shirt. Lando Calrissian space capes. Simply the best in all Bespin. That's kind of funny. I've also had my eye on this original Baddie shirt with Pain and Panic for a really long time. Is today the day I finally bring it home? It's so funny, and you never see Pain and Panic on anything. And I actually have a really good impression of Pain. Come in, you Mrs. Dubiousness. This mini shirt's new. It's the Kuzco shirt. There's never Emperor's New Groove merch. There was one fuzzy hoodie that I bought, and now there's this. And I love it. It's $40. But it's long sleeves, and I live in Florida. Still not quite dark yet, so I figured I'll go get some free soda here at Club Cool. Club Cool is an institution here at EPCOT. It's where you can try free soda from around the world. This is the new version of it, of course, but they still have Beverly. Don't worry. Okay, one of these I love. I do like the Russian Sprite, which, interesting fact, I was going to say fun fact, but it's not fun. It's an interesting fact that I talked to a cast member at the Coca-Cola bar at Disney Springs, and they said they were importing it from Romania now instead of Russia. It's the same product, but that's good to know. Okay, Beverly's terrible. Which one do I like? I think I like, I know I like the cucumber Sprite, but I think I like this watermelon too. Oh, I do enjoy that. It's like sour watermelon. Doing Romanian cucumber Sprite.
That's good. Hold on.
Oh yeah, that's the stuff. And whilst I've had all of these, a lot of you commented on the video where I did the Beverly cocktail that the one in China is worse. And I feel like I don't remember it being worse, so... Why does it taste like barbecue sauce? Yeah. Not worse than Beverly, but not good. Hooray! The beacon is beginning to be lit. So for the 50th anniversary, Walt Disney World's doing Beacons of Magic at all 4 parks where they light up the icon, and Spaceship Earth certainly is the best one because they're lighting it from the inside out as opposed to projecting on it. So it comes to life every night once it gets dark, and then every few minutes there's 2 shows that flip back and forth. There's one that's just kind of like the 50th one where the lights change and stuff, and then they've been doing one that corresponds to each festival. So like at Festival of the Holidays, they did a tacky sweater and Christmas songs. At Festival of the Arts, they did Rainbow Connection with Kermit and his piggy, and now for Flower and Garden, they're doing Colors of the Wind with Pocahontas. These shows are just a few minutes long, and they happen every 5 minutes or so once it becomes dark, and the whole pavilion lights up, all these lights around, and the fountain, everything lights up. It's absolutely beautiful. They do keep running this a little bit after the park is closed, so I could see this after seeing Harmonious, but one, I was done with pretty much everything else I wanted to do besides, you know, grab another drink and stake a spot out for Harmonious. And 2, it's going to be way busier out here after Harmonious because people are going to stop on their way out of the park. I hope it sticks around for the rest of time. I hope every new season they make a new little show. I love it so much. Make sure you see it. And now I'm headed back into a crowded World Showcase. It's definitely busy because a lot of people have popped over. Again, there's a DVC event here tonight. And I'm going to get a sneaky snack and then stake out a spot for Harmonious. Okay, here's the thing. I wanted to end my final sneaky snack be maple popcorn from Canada and a fin de mole, which is my favorite beer from Canada. But this is the line. I'm still walking. Still walking. This is the line for the popcorn cart right now. Because part of this DVC event, you get a free popcorn bucket. And people are lining up to get it because you can get it at any of the popcorn stands. And these people are smart because they're getting maple popcorn in their popcorn bucket. Unfortunately for me, I'm not waiting in that line. I could, but I need to go get a spot for Harmonious. But I guess that's just a great excuse for me to show you one of my favorite little tricks. If you like a cocktail, not a cocktail, a beer or a wine in EPCOT, most of the time, you can go into a merchandise shop and get one. Look at this. We're going to walk right in here. We're going to be the literal only guest in here. And I'm going to get a beer. Look at this. 1 beer, no waiting. This is a Blanc de Chambly. That is lovely. Tastes like a better Blue Moon. I wanted the Fin de Mole, which is the beer I love from that popcorn cart specifically. And popcorn, but not waiting in a 30-minute popcorn line, that's better. They have a wine shop in Germany, they have a wine shop in France, there is drinks in the back of the Japan pavilion, there's sake in that merchandise shop, there are drinks in the back of the China shop, Italy has a wine shop, so pretty much all the countries you can get drinks without waiting. I guess it's all right that I'm not getting popcorn because I'm still pretty full from my French treats. And this is the beauty of if you were with a friend or a family member, you could split up. Somebody could wait in that long popcorn line while somebody else, well, several other people held that Harmonious spot. Don't be that person that has one person hold the Harmonious spot and then have like 7 people come join them. But you could split up. You know what I'm saying. Harmonious is in about 40 minutes. So there's already some people waiting here. Like these are pretty good spots. I could probably stand around here. I'm gonna go check a little closer in. I love Harmonious. I think it's phenomenal. It's one of my favorite nighttime shows I've ever seen, any park. But the downfall of this show is that you do want to have a good view. Unlike Illuminations or EPCOT Forever, you want to be able to see the projections, and they're in the middle, so you want to be looking dead at Thanos' ship. Which means over here is the best view, which means over here is the most crowded. I really hope they add Harmonious as a lightning lane option. They used to have that for EPCOT Forever, where you could book a lightning lane and then you got reserved viewing directly across the American Adventure, which is, again, the best view. And I think that would be such a great addition to EPCOT's Genie Plus program. So I'm willing that into the universe. I'm not one who would have told you to get in a spot 40 minutes before Epcot Forever or Illuminations. I'm probably not even one to tell you to get in a spot 40 minutes before Magic Kingdom fireworks, and never have been. But because this show is so spectacular from right here when I stand up, I'm gonna tell you to get a spot early, trade out for bathroom breaks and sneaky snacks. Dramatic right now. It's like I was crying already, and then the moment that the first notes of Someday come on, I lose it. Whoever put that as the finale song, I love you and hate you. Ugh, what a deep cut. The end credits of Hunchback? Ugh, what a good song, and what an appropriate song. Ugh. The music is so good. I know we don't play the music because it's copyrighted, so it doesn't do it any kind of justice, but the music is amazing. It's beautiful. There's big fireworks and pyro. Get a good spot, see the show. It's the perfect way to end the night. Well, friends, that wraps up a perfect day here at Epcot, and it was a pretty excellent day. Let's review a few of my top pointers. If you are not purchasing Genie Plus, especially as a resort guest, getting here early and rope drop Frozen Ever After, Test Track Soarin'. I do recommend purchasing Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, but you can also rope drop that, but you're going to have to make a decision, because if you don't purchase anything, you're probably going to have to wait in a long line somewhere. Some of those smaller rides, though, they will drop throughout the day, so make sure you're not waiting too long for something like the Seas with Nemo and Friends. But those are great filler attractions in between some of those big ones. For me and my true perfect day in this park, I had a wonderful, fabulous, perfect day today, but if I was doing it my way, I wouldn't have worried about most of those attractions, and I feel like Epcot shines its best in the evening time, coming in later in the day, getting lots of delicious food, watching Harmonious. Make sure you get a good seat for Harmonious. I would be getting a seat no later than 45 minutes before the show if you want to guarantee for this spot, even earlier on an even busier day, and it's spring break and a race weekend, so it's busy. Make sure to make a list of all the food you want to try. Okay, that's better. There's a lot of great stuff to eat at Epcot today. Like I said, this was just a plug and play for you to add in what you'd like. Make sure you do your research. Watch some of our other videos. We have a great one on year-round Epcot snacks. We've got festival videos, and make sure you know what you want to eat. I had some of my favorites today, but I also could have had something from the caramel shop in Germany. I could have had something from the Norway bakery, and I didn't get my maple popcorn, so make sure you have a list of what snacks you'd like. A full day at Epcot is very long, and there's nowhere near as much to do as there is somewhere like Magic Kingdom. There's tons to eat and drink, but if that's not your forte, then you're probably going to want to get in early, get the rides done, and then maybe take a little break, and then come back to eat and drink and watch Harmonious at night. But overall, figure out what rides you want to do, make a plan to do them, whether that be through Genie Plus and Lightning Lanes and buying a fancy ride, or whether that be through rope dropping, getting here early, or staying late as a deluxe resort guest. This park is a lot more laid back than Magic Kingdom or Hollywood Studios, so it's a lot more go with the flow and just enjoy yourself. Enjoy the festivals, enjoy good food. I absolutely adored my perfect day here in Epcot today. Cherry on top was seeing Harmonious. So until next time, friends, I'm Molly. It's been magical. Now go watch our Flower and Garden video. Bye. Good night. Yay. Bye. Bye. Good night. Good night. Thank you. I'm gonna go bump the Harmonious soundtrack on the way home.